What qualities do you feel a staff member needs to have? Of the qualities you listed, which ones do you feel you haven't been able to uphold?
The qualities I feel you should obtain as a staff member is that you be able to identify what is a joke and what is serious. You should also be able to lay down the law when the time is needed and be willing to respectfully give the person you muted or banned their proper reasoning instead of ignoring them and telling them you make the final choices. I feel explaining the issues that obtained and why the punishments were sent out will help the player understand what they've done, and why they received what they've done. Also, having a sense of PvPing, and the factions gameplay as a whole will be a major help to the team and yourself when answering questions or doing things with friends or other people upon the network. Always being creative and observant.
Building off the above question, which qualities do you feel you're most lacking in? How would this hold you back as a staff member?
I am most lacking in being able to stay full upon attention on something that I don't completely understand or don't agree upon. Once I get into a topic or discussion upon something I don't agree or don't understand, I try changing the subject or just pointing out things I may understand about the topic. With that being said, I'll give input, but it won't be well structured or said correctly.
From everything you've learned about this position, players, and our server, tell us how you feel you'd make a contribution.
I can easily contact players, collect ideas, and make threads and send it to managers and push heavily for changes that the community would want. I also know how to speak to most players on the server. I also can help bring in players from the past and speak to others and try encouraging them to play again, or to stay if they are thinking about quitting. In all, I strongly want to fix content-related and reviewer issues and try slowly rebuilding the server, as I feel I would have the correct resources with the devs and managers at this current time.
What are some of the lessons you've learned over your time as a player on Dysteria? How have these molded you into someone who you feel is now ready for a staff position on our network?
Lessons I've learned is when and when not to start something, and timings on how to speak on things and being smart on who to choose arguments over topics with. Such as talking to logic over issues and getting an essay back since I worded everything wrongly, didn't have facts straight, etc. I've also learned how to listen and understand what people are speaking upon, and slang that players use to trick staff members and players. I also know how to tolerate easily to things and what my breaking point is.
Do you have any previous experience staffing on other servers? If any, what were some of the mistakes you made? What have you already learned about what it means to be a staff member?
I staffed on Dysteria for a month before resigning due to health issues that will stay disclosed. My mistakes would be resigning on something that was easily fixed by eating and drinking at certain times, certain medicine and more sleep than what I had before. I learned how to interact with players from super nice and super toxic, and I can take the pressure when sent out and dish it out to a point that wouldn't be too toxic but get what I want to say out.
What issues and problems do you see with Dysteria that bother you, and what steps would you take to remedy them, given the opportunity?
Community awareness that staff members and players have between each other. I also dislike the fact that many players feel discouraged to write out their thoughts on things since of being bashed upon people for their opinion. I do think some people deserve it as the extent they're going to be a troll, but when someone is serious, that is messed up. My remedy is to always encourage responses and writing content threads or just any thread in general, and hopefully slowly revive the forums.
What motivates you to want to become a staff member? Be as specific as possible.
I am motivated to become a staff member since I want to make content changes and hopefully reviewer changes. I am close friends with many people that work closely with client makers and people who know a lot about hiding clients. With this, I hope to join the content and reviewer team to hopefully make a drastic change, and hopefully make the community have more input than now and be more aware of what is happening. I always felt community knowing what is going on helps a ton, as well staff connections, etc. It raises morale and is fun.
Is there any other information about yourself that you feel is relevant? If so, feel free to list it here.
I am very straightforward when speaking to people. I will speak my mind, but over the years I have learned what and what not to say, but I will not act in a certain way to make you understand what I am feeling, or try giving it to you softly depending on the situation. I will always tell you what I think and will be as serious as possible. I do not enjoy giving things in simple terms and slowly giving you the truth. If I feel it is needed, I'll tell it. I am also going to put in that I will not back down from an argument if I see it is fit to argue about. I also do not give my respect to people without them proving and gaining it, and you'll still be treated the same as if you didn't have it before. I also work and build everything up and send it all out, but I also send out small pieces of it over time. I like making big projects.